Hey, everybody, welcome to the official Do Good Better podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Kirby, and of course, we talk with people who are going to help our small and medium-sized nonprofits do good better. It's Thursday, and it's a mini episode, so you just get me today. And we're going to talk about marketing, which is actually it's complicated and kind of arduous. If you're a small nonprofit, you've got, I don't know, what, $3 per month to spend on marketing, and you're like, I don't know, you know what to do with this. You can't buy a billboard, you can't buy an ad, you can't buy a TV commercial. So a lot of nonprofits will do one of these two things. Nothing, and that's a bad idea. You can't do that. I'm here to help today. I feel like this is it's kind of a fun marketing week that we're talking about here. You'll do good, better world. And one of the things we get asked a lot, actually all the time, is I don't know where to start or what to do. It's a common question we get from nonprofits of really, frankly, all sizes. So if you don't know where to do or where to go or what to, it's fine. You're in good company with the rest of eternity. But when it comes to like picking out software or opportunities where you can actually figure out how to do some of this stuff, there's a billion of things that you can find on the internet. And so it's overwhelming. And so where do you start? What do you do? I'd like to talk about a couple of things that we use, that a lot of our nonprofit clients use, and that every one of them are free. Which I know that you just heard that and your ears perked up because some of the price points that you can get from a full marketing suite of services is overwhelming, like horribly overwhelming. Give you anxiety in the middle of the night, wake up, overwhelming. But these are free, and everyone should be using these tools, or at least something like it, at your nonprofit in order to get out to tell your message. The risk of not doing anything marketing-wise is that you can't control narratives, stories, build momentum. You have to do something. Here to help you. So we're going to talk about email. We're going to talk about social media, how to post that regularly, how to even do video. That's a really important thing, and not spend $1 billion on a video. And then how to design the things you need to send to your donors and potential supporters and community at large. So let's talk about email, for example. You might have a Gmail account. Wonderful. Glad you do. You may have an Outlook account. That's great. If you're going to bulk email, you're going to collect email addresses, which you should be doing everywhere you go. Speak at an event, collect an email address. If you present at a conference, collect email addresses. If you are randomly walking down the street and you see somebody who looks like a good human being, grab that person's email address, put them in your contacts. Get permission, but get them in the contacts. And you want to send out regularly scheduled things via email. You don't want to spam them. You don't want to ask them constantly for things, but you want to keep them in the loop. People will open up what they want to open up. You've got to do your due diligence in figuring out what's a great line, an email header. You know the ones that you have, all the clickbait things that you know. If you don't know, hey, use ChatGPT. We talked about that in an earlier podcast. Use Google, or you can use something like a MailChimp. MailChimp's interesting. It's free for a certain amount of users. You don't have to pay necessarily for a lot of the features that they have, the sort of technical stuff. But if you have less than 2,000 subscribers, if you're a small nonprofit or a startup or whatever, you can legitimately take this MailChimp and then run with it. And you get it free. You don't have to pay for it. It's great. But what it does is that you can schedule your emails. You can actually do them early and then just set it and forget it. Ron Popeil, the whole thing. But when you're sort of doing your headlines, your titles, it's drag and drop. But if you do your titles, it'll actually suggest some stuff for you, which is great. So you don't have to think about it. Yeah, like I said, it's a drag and drop. It's very quick, very easy, looks professional, and you can just push it out. Do this in Gmail, and it's going to block a lot of things. Do this in MailChimp, and you're going to be able to sort of push out your message on a regular basis. What does that look like? I don't know, once a week, once a month at minimum. Once every other week is still great if you don't have a ton of content to create, but get it into an actual email system. This one's free, folks. It's a no-brainer. The social media one is a really interesting thing. You can schedule your Facebook posts in advance on Facebook, yeah. But if you have a whole host of places where you're on Instagram and Twitter and all these kind of things, you're going to want a little bit of help. Hootsuite is a wonderful Hootsuite. If you haven't used this, it's really easy, very intuitive, and then allows you to build multiple posts at once. Again, you set it and forget it. It's absolutely free for up to 3 individuals in an organization and up to 5 posts a week. So you can actually get a daily bit, right? So what if you wanted to send out something on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Perfect. If you schedule more, you have to do it manually, but up to 5 posts. I mean, that's pretty great that you don't have to think about Hootsuite. That's a really good one for your social media stuff. And especially if you have multiple accounts, you don't want to go into LinkedIn. You want to do this, this, and this. It's a lot easier to do that kind of work than anything else. YouTube has, for video, YouTube for nonprofits. So if you sign up as a nonprofit, you get this free suite of things, and it allows you to have like a click here to donate button that they offer for free. It goes right to your landing page, or offer you some solutions to that. Super helpful. Regardless of what you think about TikTok and all these kind of things, YouTube's here forever. Most people are on YouTube. Everybody searches it. They look for things. So grab your content and put it into video, grab it on YouTube, and use this YouTube nonprofit account to get some of this information out to your donors in a different medium that's an email, or different medium that's not just sort of a social media post or a phone call. You have to have this inclusive, suite of storytelling or outreach, or eventually solicitation. This is a great way to do that. So if people are watching a video, they think it's really awesome. Maybe you're giving a background or a backdrop to like what you're doing for food scarcity in your community. And you're talking about, hey, here's our food shelf. This is what we do. And at some point in time, you want to add that donate button because it's an emotional response, and that you feel like people would really be interested in donating to this particular thing. You got to drag and drop into that for YouTube. And again, completely free. The last one I want to talk about as a free piece to your marketing puzzle is if you aren't on Canva. Holy Hannah, are you missing out? One of the things that frustrated me the most, I think, as I tried to scale a business was like, I don't know how to do all the sizing and pieces to the multiple stuff we have to create. Well, here's a logo, and now you do a newsletter, and now you got to do an appeal letter. Well, Canva has everything. You just search for it, and then you drag and drop your content into it. It's super easy, super intuitive, and nonprofits get the Canva Pro for free. And that gives you the upgraded sort of design content. It gives you the updated, able to sort of change sizes. And it's just get in there and play around with it. It's absolutely fantastic. And you don't necessarily need to hire a creative agency for this. There's a time and a place, and they're brilliant at what they do. But when you're a small one-person shop, you're just trying to get by with doing a quarterly newsletter, or you're trying to push out an appeal at the end of the year, and you don't know where to start. This is a wonderful way to sort of search. You sort of copy and paste your content in there. You can import logos. It's really one of the more robust things you can do for your nonprofit that doesn't include hiring a marketer. Again, there's a time and a place to hire professionals to sort of build your fundraising or marketing plan, help you execute it, and hold you accountable and responsible for some of the things. But when you're just trying to hack out a quick newsletter, when you're trying to hack out a quick design of an event logo that you're just trying to sort of finish, wonderful. So Canva Pro, it is free for you nonprofits. That's a lot. You probably don't need to do everything. If you're just posting once a week, you don't need the Hootsuite. If you're not emailing out 1,000 people and you've got an email list of 25, you don't necessarily need a MailChimp. But learning about these things and knowing that they're free and available for your nonprofit is absolutely critical to your growth. If there's the one thing I was you got to do Canva, like do that, please. Because that will help you immensely. But don't not market your message and your impact to the community in which you're serving or trying to appeal to. Please don't. People want to hear your story. And if they don't know your story, they can't donate to you because they don't even know you exist. If they don't know you exist, How is that helping your organization and those that you're serving? It's really key and really critical. So do yourself a favor, take some time, look at your marketing as a whole, figure out where you can sort of improve visibility, and take one of these things, whether it's Canva or YouTube or Hootsuite or MailChimp, or take some of these things and just say, hey, I'm going to use this week or this month. Get really good at just sort of navigating it and play around in it. I swear, you'll say thanks. It's going to be fine. We'll link those in the show notes as well, where to go and how to do it. Just click there and go. And that's your little helpful hint of the day. Don't stop marketing. And if you haven't started marketing, start and use some of these tools for good. It will help you get exposure. Your exposure is going to attract people who love your mission and your vision and your values. And once they fall in love with you, you'll be able to set up and ask very easily, well, that's how you do marketing. Thanks for stopping by on this little mini episode of the official Do Good Better podcast. If you haven't subscribed, please do anywhere that you find your podcast. That's super helpful. Share this with somebody who has no idea what the heck to do in their marketing. If they're too small of a nonprofit, share them this little nuggets of information. And in the show notes, you can find us at dogoodbetterconsulting.com. We have a whole host of resources for you there as well. And of course, we'd love to help if you have any questions. So visit us there, dogoodbetterconsulting.com. Thanks for stopping by this little mini podcast, learning all you learned about marketing stuff. So have a great week. We'll see you next week on more little helpful hints and tips and tricks for you, the small and medium-sized nonprofit, to helping you do good here on the official Do Good Better podcast.